Hello again everybody, and I'm back doing another piercing video, and this one is going to be how to clean your tongue piercing while it is healing. I get this question a lot, and I covered it a little bit in my 1-year update on my tongue piercing, but I thought I would make a totally separate video just so I could teach you guys like more in depth on how to clean it when it was healing. And the things I'm going to be explaining in here is how I cleaned my tongue piercing while it was healing. This isn't everybody's way of cleaning it. This is just how I did it, and it worked for me. So I just thought I would share my cleaning experience, so it might help some of you guys in the future if you have your tongue pierced now or are getting it pierced. Typically tongue piercings can take up to 2 to 6 weeks maximum to heal. With mine, I was a very slow healer, so I waited. Mine took maybe about a full month to heal completely, which is 4 weeks. Some people take even longer, and some people they're completely and totally healed at the 2-week mark, which is perfectly fine. That's just the timeline from when they heal the most. Some people will say they take a full year to heal, and that is not the case. I had someone tell me that once, and I just laughed out loud. Like, it wasn't just an LOL, it was like I literally laughed out loud while I was typing. And if that was the case, no one would get their tongue pierced. Could you imagine eating soup for a year? No. So they do not take that long to heal. It's just 2 to 6 weeks maximum. The most important thing is good oral hygiene is key to having a healing tongue piercing. If you don't take very good care of your teeth or your mouth or oral hygiene in general, then a tongue piercing is not for you, because when a tongue piercing is healing, it does take a good amount of cleaning and good oral hygiene to heal right and to heal well. That you know how to take care of it before you get it, just so after you get it you are prepared and you know what to do in case you ever were to get an infection, you'd know how to take care of it and clean it. So some things that you'll need to go by for healing your tongue piercing and having good oral hygiene is alcohol-free mouthwash. You can get Crust Pro Health. That stuff is really good. You can get it for maybe about $5 for the big bottle at the dollar store, and that stuff works great. Make sure it is alcohol-free. Do not get Listerine. Anything that contains alcohol in mouthwash is not good for a healing tongue piercing, because the alcohol in the Listerine will irritate the piercing and make it harder to heal, because it will be so irritated it will just take longer. So make sure that the mouthwash you get is alcohol-free. That's very, very important. The next thing that you're going to want to get is, if you have a toothbrush now, I would recommend going out and getting a new toothbrush for your tongue piercing, and make sure it is a soft bristle toothbrush. And the reason I say soft bristle is because if it's not, it can be really harsh on the piercing, and you don't want that. It's just best to have a soft bristle toothbrush just so it is softer on your gums and your tongue, while it's healing. And it's good to get a new one, because if you're going to be using your old one, you're using old germs on a new piercing, so it's just not good. When I went and got mine pierced, I went out and bought an entire new toothbrush. It's good. I mean, in general, if you go to the dentist twice a year, you should be switching out your toothbrushes 2 times a year, every 6 months. So, I mean, if you're going to go get your tongue pierced, you might as well just replace your toothbrush anyway, because you probably will need a new one soon anyway. Then, for another thing that you'll need for your tongue piercing is a good toothpaste. Nothing that contains peroxide, fluoride, whitening, anything like that. Make sure that's not anything like that, because that will also irritate the piercing and will take longer to heal. Make sure it's something like Colgate Total or something like that. I just got the Cool Mint regular Colgate Total toothpaste, just the white, and I got it at the dollar store for a couple bucks. I just wanted something that was going to clean my teeth and my mouth, and also something that didn't have all these other extra things added to it, so it wouldn't, irritate or infect the piercing. Good thing, this is optional, but it's also very, very recommended by me and by piercers, and that is to get non-iodized sea salt. There are several places you can get it. I know I got mine at a pet store. Some people can get theirs at piercing shops. Some piercing shops, have some there for you. You can get it at your grocery store, or you can even find it online. I know online you can find H2 Ocean, which is a saline solution. I did use that on my tongue a couple times, just sprayed it on the tongue. But you can either use that or non-iodized sea salt, just get a thing of it. That's a really good thing to have for your tongue piercing. It's great. That was like the best thing in the world for my tongue piercings. Right now we're going to get into on how to take care of it. When you get your tongue pierced, make sure to brush your teeth 2 to 3 times a day. Brush your teeth how you normally would. It's just when you brush it, you got to go a little more gentle and a little more in depth. So make sure you're getting all your teeth in the front, back, behind, everything, get the way back of your mouth so your molars are all brushed. Take the toothbrush and brush your gums really good, brush the roof of your mouth. Brush underneath your tongue, like in that area, and also you're going to want to brush your tongue. And when you have your tongue pierced, you will be quite sore, so you want to be very, very careful, but you really do want to brush your tongue and go carefully around the piercing with your soft bristle toothbrush. If you want to know how to brush your teeth with the tongue piercing, Kinky Nikki 4 here on YouTube has a video on how to brush your tongue with the tongue piercing, which she shows in depth, like her literally brushing her teeth and how to clean it. That is really helpful, so if you want to see that, I would go watch that on her channel. But you really just want to make sure that you're brushing at least 2 to 3 times a day, making sure that you get all over your mouth, especially the roof of your mouth, because the top of your piercing touches the roof of your mouth, and the bottom of your mouth as well, just because they're both touching. Mouthwash or sea salt soak every time after you eat or drink something that isn't water, like if you have a soda, just quick, you know, sea salt or mouthwash your mouth. Or if you have like some soup or anything food-like while it's healing, make sure you clean your mouth after you eat. It's not the most satisfying thing, especially if you eat a really good meal and you can still taste it. It's like, ugh, and then you mouthwash and it's just like you feel hungry all over again. I know it sucks, but you have to do it to keep your tongue piercing healthy and clean, so make sure that you do that. You can switch off from mouthwash to sea salt. Just make sure that you are doing at least one or the other during the healing process. I know I switched to sea salt after about 4 days, just because I was mouthwashing so much that my tongue was becoming really raw from all the mouthwash. So that's when I would switch off from mouthwash in the morning to sea salt the rest of the day. So just make sure that you are switching on and off, and if your tongue is starting to feel a little raw and like achy kind of, it is just because your tongue isn't used to all that mouthwash. So just kind of switch off from sea salt to mouthwash if you want to. Definitely when it comes to mouthwash, make sure that you mouthwash morning and night to kill off the germs before you go to bed and to kill off the germs when you wake up in the morning. So just at least if you do switch off to sea salt, just make sure you do mouthwash at least morning and night. That's what I did. And going back to the mouthwash and sea salt, depending on what you are cleaning your mouth with after you eat or drink anything and you go to clean your mouth, make sure that you are swishing around the mouthwash and or sea salt for at least 30 to 45 seconds. I would just kind of sing either like the ABCs twice, or I would like sing a song or something for, you know, that amount of time. It really does help. So, you know, just swish around your mouth, say the ABCs and spit it out, and you should be fine. Just make sure that you are doing it for a little bit. Don't just put it in your mouth, swish, swish, spit. It's not going to do it justice. Make sure you're getting it around your entire mouth. Kind of move your tongue around carefully to make sure that it's getting nice and clean. When it comes to mouthwashing, I would mouthwash and clean your mouth with whatever sea salt or mouthwash for at least, for as long as your tongue piercing is secreting the white pus. That's how long I would mouthwash for. I mouthwash and sea salt for 2 weeks every time after I ate. I did that for 2 weeks, and then you should be fine after that. But if you are a slow healer, maybe do it for like another 5 days after the 2 weeks. Or and since I'm a smoker, and I was a smoker during my tongue piercing, I did quit for 6 days after I got my tongue pierced, just to be safe, because they do say the first week is the hardest, and it is. So I just quit smoking for 6 days, and then every time I would have a cigarette while it was still healing, I would sea salt soak after that. So make sure that if you are gonna smoke with the tongue piercing, make sure that you are cleaning it really, really, really well, so you know it doesn't get infected from the cigarette smoke, because I have heard of that happening, and you definitely don't want that. So if you choose to smoke while your tongue piercing is healing, just make sure that you clean it immediately after you smoke. And I remember during Thanksgiving, my tongue piercing was 8 or 9 days old at that point, and I remember you know, I brought my cigarette, so I would have a cigarette like after I ate, and I actually brought a tub of mouthwash with me, so every time after I smoked, I would just go in the bathroom and mouthwash. So that's what I did for smoking. Like if you're ever going somewhere, just bring a little thing of mouthwash with you and just swish it around and spit. so you're keeping your tongue piercing clean. Everything is all healed after, you know, you switch your tongue piercing to the shorter bar and everything's good and dandy. You can go back to your regular oral hygiene, whatever that was. Of course, hopefully that your oral hygiene before you got it pierced was good as well. Make sure that you still brush your teeth and all that good stuff. Try to keep your tongue piercing, you know, away from your teeth so you don't cause any damage to your teeth, because that's the one way that it can cause damage, is if you're constantly rubbing up against your teeth. You know, things like that. So just make sure that you continue good oral hygiene after it is healed, and but it can be regular, like brushing your teeth 1 to 2 times a day, and you don't have to clean your mouth after you eat, after it's healed. Like, everything can go back to normal. You just have a pretty piece of jewelry in your tongue. If you do happen to get an infection while you have a tongue piercing, sea salt soaks 3 to 4 times a day. 1/4 of a tablespoon of sea salt in a cup with warm water. Swish it around. You know, drink only ice water, eat really soft food just until the infection goes away. Things like that. But always listen to your piercer. As long as you take care of it, it will ensure a healthy, happy tongue ring, and you will have it and enjoy it for years. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it was helpful for some of you who either have your tongue pierced or want to get your tongue pierced but don't know how to clean it. I really hope this helped you. If it did, please give it a thumbs up, and I would really, really appreciate it. If you have any other questions about your tongue ring, I have tons of videos on it, but you know, if you're kind of in a hurry and don't want to go through them all, just ask it here and I will respond to you as soon as I can. But until then, I will see you guys very, very soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye, guys. So it would be best if it was just a soft bristle one and a slow healer. What the fuck? Are you serious? My words are